Welcome to Ty Sports. Welcome back. Now, I hear that some of you want to be a head coach. Bless your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. Let me take you on a journey through mediocrity, delusion, and false hope, also known as the current coaching football roulette wheel. Oh, I didn't say that correctly. The current college football coaching roulette wheel. If you're thinking about one of these jobs, you better pack a rosary, some bourbon. I heard Kentucky got plenty of it sitting on the shelf up there, and have your therapist on speed dial. So what I want to do is briefly go through all the programs that have a coaching opening, all the relevant programs at least. If I left your program out, that means that, you're probably just changing your coach to get your ticket sales up. You have no real shot at the playoffs. I'm talking about teams that really think they can go to the playoffs and make a difference, even though some of them have no chance at all. So I'm going to tell you what's hot, what's not, and what's just plain old sad, and some of you need to stop, starting with the UAB Blazers. Now, looking at their odds of making it to the CFP in the next year, and it's probably the same odds they have for the next decade or so, it's plus 10,000, folks. That means if you put $100 on the UAB Blazers to make the playoffs, somebody's going to give you $10,000. And they should. They should give you $100,000 because you are the luckiest person in the world. But here's the good thing about UAB. You get to live in Birmingham, which is basically like Alabama's backyard, right? It's Cribstown, right over there. So you're close enough to, you're close enough to greatness to smell it. And then you got a shiny new stadium, and you got a fan base that's happy to just get invited to the party. They just want to play. But the bad thing is you're coaching in the American Conference, and that's like it's like being the best chef at a Waffle House, And then the biggest rival that you have is like Memphis, and that's not like a really a rivalry. It's more like scheduling inconvenience because you're gonna get your brains beat in. That's your future, Blazers, Dragons, whatever you are. Congratulations. The Stanford Cardinals. I looked up the odds for the Stanford Cardinals to make it to the CFP. They're practically non-existent. I probably should have left them out, but you got to respect the academics, baby. They haven't had a chance to win anything really since Coach Shaw just said, no, thank you. I've had enough. I got to move on with the rest of my life. You guys are taking too much from me. Now, you get to say that you're a coach at Stanford, which, sounds impressive until you realize that, they care more about Nobel Prize winners and inventions and patents, which they should, than bowl games. That ain't, bowl games ain't really important to them. Now, good thing is you'll never be fired for losing. You probably will get canned for not turning in a paper on quantum physics stuff. You got to be, you got to help them boys with their homework. So recruiting there it's kind of ugly. It's like trying to convince valedictorians, if you had a conversation with several of them, I have, trying to convince them to play linebacker. Because in the back of their mind, they got to be like, why? What? The stadium atmosphere out there is so dead. It makes a chess tournament look like Mardi Gras. Pretty bad. So good luck with all that, man. Stanford, no real chance. The Colorado State Rams. Y'all know the guy, Coach Norvell, they got rid of him. Didn't know he was out there. Peace out, brother. Didn't know he was out there till he got into an argument with Coach Prime. I was like, who is that? Oh, okay. But they fired him. Their odds of making it to the CFP, now that's the 12 team. These odds may even include a 16 or 14 team CFP. Their odds of making it is 6,600 plus 6,600, which is that's a lot. The good thing about Colorado State, if you take that job, you'll be in Fort Collins. My brother was stationed there. I never went to visit him, and I didn't miss nothing. But I hear that the scenery is absolutely the greatest scenes, the greatest looks and views on earth. So you get to soak in all that majestic nature, while Boise is beating your brains in. Boise State, yeah, people with the blue field, they're gonna come in there and kick your butt all the time. You're in the Mountain West, which means you can win 6 games and get a parade. I mean, look at Colorado. They wish they can get some of that. Now here's the ugly. Just like it ain't ugly enough. The mascot is a ram, so it's not very intimidating. It's more like a petting zoo thing. You're the second best team in your own state. Behind who? I know what you're thinking, but it's behind Air Force. You're the second best team in the state behind Air Force. Maybe Colorado, but let that sink in. Air Force runs Colorado football. Think about it before you sign on the dotted line. Oregon State Beavers. When I looked at their odds to make the CFP, it was like 0.6 chance. I don't know how good you guys are at math, but that's less than a 1% chance of making the CFP. So that's pretty bad. The good is you get to wear orange and black, which really works in October. Problem is football is played in December, September, November, if you're lucky, January. They got a scrappy reputation. You know, they kind of like a raccoon in a dumpster fight. You know, say they fight you, you know what I'm saying? But here's the bad part. Y'all know it. Oregon is your, it's your big brother. It is. And what's worse about it, I think I mentioned this before. I was listening to a story of when you go to visit Oregon State on a recruiting trip, you have to land in Eugene, Oregon. Not only that, the road to Oregon State, and what is that? Corvallis, Oregon. You go right past the University of Oregon and you can see everything. You can see all the green. You can see all the stadium they have dedicated to track. You can see the stadium for football. You see every other stadium there. You see Nike stuff everywhere. And then you take another 2-hour ride to Corvallis. Not very encouraging. The playoff odds are lower than a coin toss in a windstorm. Forget about it. Ain't gonna happen. I don't even know how to change it. You got to get an airport first. That's the first thing. Y'all need an airport. Y'all need your own airport. Stop taking people to Eugene, because that's like putting people in a strainer. Like they just stop in Eugene. Their brain, their heart, and everything stops in Eugene, and they go back home. You got to find another way. Helicopter, parachute. Y'all got to find a way to get people into Corvallis without going to Eugene immediately. Arkansas Razorback. CFP odds are plus 5,000. Now, the good thing about Arkansas is you get that SEC money, baby. That check clears even when the scoreboard doesn't. Like, can somebody take that 52-6 off take it off? But that check gonna clear. And then you get to call the Hogs, which is fun until you realize they're calling them for you. Because Hogs, you can lock them big hogs up for about 10 days and you let them go, they would destroy whatever piece of meat they can get their hands on or anything. Yeah, they start saying, woo, big sweet. Your record is like 2-6 for 3 years in a row. Yeah, they're not cheering for you because you need to start running. You should be hearing that banjo music in the background. But here's the ugly. As if it's not ugly enough that you're at Arkansas. You're in the SEC cellar currently. And that's kind of like being one of those backup singer / mic mover people at a Beyonce concert. Ain't nobody looking at you. Ain't nobody come to see you do nothing. So that's why we put you all the way over there. You know, we try to move Arkansas the way so we see Missouri. But, I mean, just thinking that, winning 9 games a year is like some kind of dynasty, that's sad enough. So whoever takes that job, get that money. Get that money, bro. Make sure you get that money. Virginia Tech Hokies. How far have the mighty fallen? I mean, Mike Vick has to be rolling over in his dog kennel right now. I mean, they have a CFP odds of 18,000 plus 18,000. I mean, if you put $100, you get up $18,000. I mean, they were right there under a coach that was, come on, man. They were just falling apart. All that talent in Virginia. Well, the good part about being at Virginia Tech is that Enter the Sandman is the best interest in college football. It's up there. I mean, I wish Alabama had something dope like that. It's just all the thing they got is winning. In Roll Tide. But Enter the Sandman, you know, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Too bad it's followed by a continued series of 3-and-outs, fumbles, and interceptions. I think Metallica need to really sue and just don't play my song no more. Just don't play my song no more. I mean, you got history there too. You got Mike Vick, you got Beamer Ball. They're all like ancient relics now, and everybody's still alive. It's like they're from the 1930s or something, but they're still alive, and they get to watch this nightmare called hokey football. Now to the ugly part. Blacksburg is the winters are very cold, but not as cold as the offensive playbook. It's nothing in there, and their reputation, their recruiting department is like, it's more like a distribution center. People right now, they play for their film so they can get the heck out of Blacksburg, and that's not what you want. Lastly, you're stuck in the ACC, where, you know, if you stay there long enough, you probably win a Heisman Trophy. Because, you know, mediocrity is like a lifestyle in the ACC. Ain't that right, Coach Dabo? Next up, Auburn Tigers. Plus 300, because their team is loaded. Their team is loaded. Plus 300 odds of making it to the college football playoffs next year. 300. Bet 100, get $200 more back. That's crazy. The good part about that job, you're in the SEC. You get to play Bama every year. That's good. You know, it's a privilege. You're welcome, Alps. You're welcome, man. You know, we're gonna keep y'all right there. Smack you around. The fans there are passionate. You know, like, I think if Auburn was to lose to Georgia Southern, like Alabama lost Louisiana Monroe, you got a lot of people that are really willing to bring your house down. You know, so they're very passionate. They like they love their Auburn Tigers. I call them the War Tigers. The ugly part is your Auburn. That's the ugly. It's a nice town, but you're always one booster tantrum away from being fired mid-season. Man, just think 2 in a row right now. The last coach had a severe case of cancer. Well, no, not cancer. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything other than a severe case of cancer. It's serious. Cancer is cancer. And he had golf fever. I think he had more golf fever than he had cancer. You know? But still, I always thought it was kind of cold-blooded to let that man go while he's getting treated for cancer. At least wait till the end of the season. Let him step down. But they cut him loose. You know, it's like kind of like just firing the man during the interview. You know, just come in like, yeah, what we're trying to do is like, Hugh, hey, it's over with, bud. I tell you what though, go in there, whoever you are, you get the job. But always remember this about Auburn. Their golden parachutes they're not record breaking, but they are legendary. They pay really well. They are very nice. Take advantage, my friend. Now, Oklahoma State Cowboys. Their odds for getting into the CFP are plus 4,000. It's good. You know, the good part about going there, they got a lot of work to do. They got to put something, they need a builder. But the good thing about it is you get a mullet if you want one. You know, I wouldn't have been eligible because my mullet days were over when I was 19 years old. But You get the mullet, it's in the contract. That Boone Pickens money is real, it's still running around there. The oil is still flowing like Gatorade over there in Stillwater. And the other part is you're in Stillwater. Stillwater, Oklahoma. That's not a town, it's a witness protection program city. I think it's the only city. I think they would be very safe if the the witness protection program, the federal one, they send everybody to Stillwater. Nobody's going to follow them over there. Nobody's going to follow. Nobody's going over there. They go get their little paddle where they can be on the side of the thing and be on national TV. Nobody's going to ever find them. It could be in the witness protection program. And then the other part, the bad part about being in Oklahoma State is you're forever chasing Oklahoma, who left your conference for the SEC. It's like y'all was like prom dates forever. But then you got stood up. I don't even know if Oklahoma State even play Oklahoma anymore. Why? I mean, for Oklahoma State's ticket revenue, but I mean, it's over. So anybody that goes there, just know maybe around a lot of suspect characters. Most of them will be the students at Oklahoma State. Anyway, UCLA Bruins 2,500. That's not bad when you think about how awful they've been as of late. I bet that number moved when they start, showing little signs of life out there under their new regime. Now, the good part about being at UCLA, you're in LA, baby. You know what I'm saying? Home of the Dodgers. You're a two-time back-to-back World Series champion, Dodgers. Yeah, take that. You're in LA. You can recruit with the palm trees, and I don't know, maybe you can get a couple rappers to fall through. Ice Cube may be a UCLA fan. Probably not, because he like doing cool stuff. Looking at them is not very cool right now. The ugly is you share a stadium with a team that doesn't know that you exist. Very quiet, very ridiculous. You need to change conferences. The ugly part is, another ugly thing about being a UCLA coach is you got to remember your fans are going to show up around third quarter and they're going to be leaving in the middle of the fourth. Unless you do something to hold their attention. Maybe you could re-sign Troy Aikman or somebody. Because I've never seen a program fall farther from greatness. Look up their past. Look up their past at UCLA. It's tremendous. But as of the last 25 years, looks nothing like that previous 25 years. They was always in it, but not anymore. Penn State, my favorite. They have a plus 700 chance or odds of winning being in the college football playoffs. Plus 700. That's not bad. Kind of like 1 in 7 or something like that. The good thing is, Coach Franklin has pulled a Tony Dungy. And now all they need is a John Gruden to come in. Like Warren Sapp said, Tony Dungy went in the kitchen, cleaned the kitchen up, brought in the right ingredients. He baked the cake for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He mixed it all up. He put it in the oven. It didn't fall. He let it cool, set it on the counter. They came and said, "You fired." John Gruden came in there, put the icing together, made it look pretty. Super Bowl. This is what Penn State needs. And I've said it. Any quarterback, if Tony Franklin would have got a quarterback that could run a 4.6 or better, I think they could beat Ohio State anytime they wanted to. But let's think about it. Penn State was mired in scandal. Go look it up. He cleaned up this historically relevant program. You got tradition, you got the whiteouts, you got Happy Valley, you're in the Big Ten, which means you only have to beat Michigan and Ohio State. I'll add Indiana now. Easy, right? It ain't like being down here in the SEC. Well, like I said again, can Alabama get somebody on their schedule that they can beat by 40 points? That's in the conference. We can't. Not even Kentucky's going to let you do that to them. Now, the ugly is James Franklin just got fired. And your fans, they think they're so elite. They're not. You are the Kirk Cousins of college football until further notice. Moving on, Florida Gators, plus 350. That's their chance. That's the kind of talent they have. That's what the odds makers say. You know what? If somebody come in there and do it the right way, they could be in the college football playoff. Plus 350. The good is you're in Gainesville. I like Gainesville, but the humidity. The only thing in that humidity down there is the delusion of the fans. You know, you got history, Tebow, Spurrier, Urban Meyer, but before, you know, any kind of scandal pops up, they've had a couple scandals, little mini scandals. Nothing like Penn State. But the delusion of the Florida Gator fans is kind of ridiculous. They got lucky with some coaches, but the ugly part, they are on their 5th coach in a decade. That's not a program. That's a temp agency for coaches. So all those coaches are gonna go to coach somewhere else and make money. I mean, they fired more coaches than Auburn. I don't know what the talent's supposed to be in Florida. You're free to move around the country to find other talent. They can't piece it together. I don't get it. Is it over for them? I don't know. Another bad thing about it is that your mascot is a reptile. And that's cool until you realize that your offense moves like the same reptile. It doesn't go, it just sits there. It's like they just sit there on the field, just like an alligator, just sit there. And then when they get hungry, they go get something, but then they eat so much the first time, so they'll win one game and lose 2. And alligators got a very strange way of eating. They eat all day and then eat for days. And they go swim a little bit. That's it. That's the Florida Gators. Good luck to you, whoever gets that job. I don't think Lane's going nowhere. LSU Tigers, very talented team. Plus 130. At 100, you gonna make $30 in profit. Now, good news, you got talent, always got talent. Louisiana is his own world down there. You got Death Valley at night, which is terrifying. Until recently, it's terrifying for the home team. The ugliest thing about LSU is that Brian Kelly got fired for being Brian Kelly. He's a winner and a prick. I got a song about it. Go check out my short. Now, he's just a bad fit now. That's all it was. They need Gruden right now for real, because he's weird enough to be down there and probably tell people where to go stick it if they have a problem where he does stuff. So don't tell them I told you they need Gruden. They just need somebody that's got to stand up for themselves, appropriate like a man, and not fuss the people like he's a pissed off auntie. There's a difference. Your fans that are by you, they expect a national championship every year. Good luck with that. Do the same thing. But you got to come through us to do that. Well, until recently. Until now, you get to see us like every 3 to 4 years on a little back-to-back. Yeah. You're welcome. But good luck with that. But here's the analogy. If you're thinking about taking one of these jobs, just remember, there's only one real dynasty in college football. One true standard. One crimson crown. And it ain't any of these clowns up here. None of them people I just named, none of them. No. It was Roll Tide forever. Everybody else, especially be on this list, you're just auditioning for second place. Well, in some cases, some of you guys are looking at all. Come on. Baby. Come on, man. That's all I got. Join me around the third quarter for the game against LSU. Make sure that you are oiled up and join me. We can talk about what's going on. Hopefully it'll be like a victorious moment. Hopefully we won't have to sit here and worry if we're about to blow our shorts out. Because we don't need no more of that. After the South Carolina game, we proved how blah, blah, blah. Let's blow this thing off the field and move on to something else. That's all I got for right now. Thank you for joining me. And I always remember, roll, tide, roll.